Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here this Monday morning and start off the week with all kind of neat stuff. You're going to be fascinated with today's guest and today's show. I just can't wait to get to it. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. It's going to be just a sunny day. We've got about a 50% chance of thunderstorms. Our wind's going to be coming west-southwest on the marine forecast. I'm not going to do the river readings. They've been I'll give them to you tomorrow, but it's been pretty slow as far as rising and lowering. We've got about both of them around 4 foot, the Choctawhatchee and the Apalachicola. Now, the Monday moon forecast, we're in a waxing stage. We're about 1 week away today, 1 week away from a full moon. So it's going to be strong moon, and we're getting back some really good tides, too. So that's going to be really, everything's really good. I'm not going to show you that stuff because I want to spend so much time on today's guests and all because some really, really fascinating stuff. So let's go ahead and take our break and be right back with our special guest. All right, welcome back, and look at these guests we have today. On the far end there, you recognize Travis Basford. He's out of uniform, but that's our FWC officer, Travis Basford, on the show last week. But more importantly, the young lady next to him, Nicole. Travis, I'm going to let you introduce her.
It's my beautiful wife, Nicole, originally from Puerto Rico, been in Florida now for how many years? About 12 years?
Since 2002.
All right, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you're an officer also.
Yes, sir.
And you're out of uniform, of course, but you all met down in the lower end of the state, right?
In South Florida.
Tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
Well, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I enjoyed the outdoors in Puerto Rico. I did a lot of scuba diving in Puerto Rico and some fishing with my grandfather, and always outside playing sports. And then I came to Florida to play softball and get an education in marine biology. And while I was doing that, I decided to pursue my master's degree also in marine biology. And while I was doing my master's, I started working at the university as a security officer, and that's what spiked my interest in law enforcement.
So that's how it happened. Then you were sort of working there, okay? Yep. And now, listen, I'm not going to say much about Travis today because he's been on the show a lot, but we're going to talk a lot about you and how, first of all, having a female officer is great, but having, a couple up here, this is really neat. Do y'all have the same shifts and all, or how do y'all do this?
We do. We have the same shift.
Good.
We have the same shift, but we rarely work together because usually, like this time of year, I'll say I'm on the boat a lot, and Nicole's doing the state parks a lot. It's very busy in St. Andrews right now.
Yes,
so.
It is.
Does she call you up and say, honey, do this, honey, do that?
Not too much at work, but after work she does.
Okay, listen, I know you love the outdoors, obviously, growing up the way you did.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite kind of fishing?
Saltwater fishing.
Okay. And what's your favorite target? What do you like to catch with a lot of?
Red drum.
All right. You're in a good spot now. And I guess you fish all over the state, too, being in South Florida.
In South Florida, and we've done Palm Beach, Broward, Martin, Miami, and then up here.
Okay, well, listen, we got a background, and your mom was real active in the outdoors.
Yes, sir. She was the one that got me into scuba diving, and now I'm on the dive team with the agency, and she was the only female instructor trainer in Puerto Rico. So.
Wow, so she blazed some trails then.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. So she's going to get to watch you on YouTube, and
yes, sir.
So all kind of family members going to get to watch you. They'll be calling you up and all. Well, listen, what Travis is telling about this, we're going to do something that it's just fascinating, simple as that. And Travis, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing today.
Sure. We're going to do something called Gayu-taku, and you can't say that 3 times fast. But it was actually the Japanese many, many years ago used this method. It's called Gayu-taku fish printing to document and record their catch before photography. So what they would do is we have a nice lane snapper laid out here.
First of all, I checked him with legal size. It is legal.
He is. He's over the size, and what we're going to do is we're going to show everybody how to do fish printing, and it's pretty simple process. You can take it as far as you want. It'd be a project for the kids, or if you want to take it and really be detailed with it, you can have something to hang on your living room wall. But you paint, you rinse the fish, and we've already taken this fish and rinsed all the slime off, dried him off, and we put a little bit of alcohol on there to help dry it so it will absorb some of the paint. And we're gonna paint this fish, and a lot of people do it with just black ink. We're gonna use some colors here. Lane snapper is a very colorful fish with its red and yellows and pinks. And then we're gonna take that rice paper, it's a very thin paper, and lay it over the fish and actually rub the print of the fish on the paper. And when you pull it off, you have the exact size, measurement, and everything of your catch.
This is just fascinating. This is, like I said, an ancient art. I mean, they've been doing this since before photography, of course.
Yes.
And I've seen some of your work over here. It's fascinating. So, y'all, I'm considering y'all an expert in it.
No. I actually saw a kid wearing a T-shirt with a fish print on it, and I asked the mom. I was at work, and I asked the mom about it, and she said it's something that they did in school. So I guess you can do it with your kids too, and just put it on T-shirt.
Okay, so what's our first step? You've told already some things you already prepared. So I told Travis and Nicole it's going to be like a cooking show. We've got to condense all this cooking into like one little segment here. So let's tell us what's going on.
Oh, sure. Sure. I mean, we've rinsed him.
Okay.
We've dried him, and now we've got anything around, any spot that could leak, like around the gills, a little bit in the mouth, and this fish has been gutted. So right underneath the belly, we've stuffed some paper towels in there to kind of absorb any kind of blood or runoff there. And the next thing we're going to do is pin the fish's fins. And how are we going to do that?
Okay.
We're just going to put some styrofoam underneath the fins like we just did on the tail, and then we're going to pin it.
Okay, so we're going to do that like during the break or something?
Sure, we can do that. And what it does is, when you take that dorsal out, I don't know if y'all can see, but the dorsal, that's a really predominant part of the fish. Then you have your pectoral fin, your anal fin, and your tail or caudal. And when you spread that out, when you do a fish print, that's really the distinguishing mark. So you want that to be flared out, and we'll show you how to do that with some pins here. So when you press the rice paper over it, it leaves the impression of all the fins.
Okay. And do y'all have the pins? Or?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, we're going to take a quick break while we're going to get the pins set up. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Sitting with Travis and Nicole Bassford here, we're FWC officers, and they've been scrambling during a little 2-minute break trying to get everything ready. Y'all just keep working because, so tell us what you're doing now.
Well, what we're doing now is we're pinning these fins out, like we were discussing earlier they're just little push pins. You can get them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, wherever. And what that does is, again, when you take this rice paper, and it's very thin, I'll show you all in just a minute, but it's
So to me, I'm speaking as a layman because we're watching on the screen too. These are little styrofoam blocks right here, and that's the support for our fins and all. That's what y'all are doing right now.
Exactly, that's what we're doing, and we'll get these maybe a piece of cardboard there.
Okay.
Once we get these pinned out, we'll start painting them, and you can paint them whatever color. You see them in restaurants a lot of times. They're just black, but we're going to add some color to this one. And
how many pins you do?
we probably got about 5, I think. Do you want to do something there? Okay. All right. So we've got our colors here. This is the colors we're going to blend together to make the colors of a lane, which are the reds, the yellows, the whites, and the pinks.
Okay. Now, where do you get your paint from?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. They're good.
Everything
good
you can get at Hobby Lobby.
Very good.
The
good
paint brushes and the.
And I'll mix that up, and you can start painting.
Now, what made you pick out those colors? Because just obviously similar to the natural colors of the fish.
Right.
Some people just do it one color. Some people will do black or gray, whatever color they want. It's like Travis was saying, you can go as far as you want with it.
That makes me think of a hot dog with mustard and all that. But listen now, what's fascinating, especially for little kids and all this summer, this is a great thing to learn for the summer and teach other people, especially kids and all, catching fish, small fish, even chofas and all. They probably could do something with that, couldn't they?
Yeah, we've done it with freshwater fish as well.
We have.
So freshwater is a big deal. Freshwater fish.
Yeah, the freshwater fish turn out great. They do. Any fish that has pronounced scales, and we were talking earlier, brim and shellcracker, they look real good. You take a sunfish or something like that.
That's the first one we did, wasn't it?
I believe it was big shellcracker, and we were like, wow, this turned out real nice. You get a little more white in there, and then we'll have you can just start.
A lot of this is trial and error. You just experience.
It is, and you just try to get a color that's kind of similar. A lot of times we have pictures of the fish that we've caught that day, and we kind of get a color similar to it. That'll probably be the main color throughout.
So
and then
show the folks that color. Okay, that's sort of how it comes out right
so we've
there.
kind of mixed some yellow, some red, and some white.
All right, so.
And we're gonna try to do these. When you pull a lane out of the water, he has a more pronounced black spot.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of fade after they've been on ice for a while. So
that's a good eating fish too.
It is.
they're a fine eating fish.
Now y'all do this and then eat the fish?
Yes, sir.
We
You
do.
both. You do both.
It's
That's cool.
edible art because you can
I like that.
because you
Edible
can you can paint it, and then the way I fillet a fish, I think most people use saltwater fish, fillet it off the bone, flip it over, and then fillet it off the skin.
That's right.
Paint doesn't go through the skin and the scales. There you go. And then
Now, Jeff, you watching this? You get Dominic doing this summer. Y'all go fishing.
The details of the fish, like the lines and the spot, those are things that you do after.
Okay.
so she's just getting the main colors on there. We'll blend that a little bit and brush those fins in, and then it will be time to do the print. The whole process takes about 10 or 12 minutes usually.
Tell them about going
Wow.
against the grain.
Oh, and then what she's doing there is, once you get your color on, she's kind of going against the grain of the scales. Excuse me, I'm just
Okay.
going to get that. And what that does is, it really pronounces those scales out. If you go with the scales, you'll see more of a brush look, and you'll see
Okay.
that once we do the print.
Yeah, I can see that'd be a good point there on doing that on detail work.
Yep,
Go against the scale.
going against the scales, and that makes it look nice when you do your print. And then for the belly, gonna put some light pink. That's fine. And then usually the last thing we do are the fins, because they'll dry out the quickest because they're real thin.
Uh-huh.
We pin the fins to the styrofoam, and then once you get it where you want it and you get some paint on it, you can remove the pins, and the fins will just lay out pretty nice.
That's neat how you have just different shades, different characteristics of it.
Yep, and she'll blend that all
He's
together.
better at blending than I am.
I never really got into painting too much, and then when it came to fish, I was like, well, I can do this then.
That's cool. I bet it's relaxing too doing that.
It's pretty fun, and then afterwards we can have a fish fry or whatever.
Yeah. This
These-
is cool. And
these
what
fins
I
now.
like about it is just a record of your fish.
It is, yeah, it's your fish, and you can take it as far as you want. When after the initial print's done, you can touch it up if you want to hang something on your wall or.
So you put like a different color on the actual fin itself. I mean, different. You got
Yes.
like a yellow. Okay.
Yep.
With protrusion.
Yep, his pectoral fin there and his.
Yeah, we'll have to do that, like
Now,
yellow.
your viewers don't worry if you don't get it all in at one time and comprehending all of it, because you can watch it seriously. You can watch it later on YouTube and go over it. But this is a great instructional video. I'm going to show when fall gets here with my new students coming in September. I'm going to show this to them.
Yep, it's.
And I'll even
What do you
mention
need?
Travis being one of the alumni.
We should get some brown.
Well, just I think it'll be all right. Alumni of Mosley, you talking about?
Yeah, and
Oh yeah. So we've just about got it. We're just kind of doing some finishing touches here on the fins, and then
This
I'm
is
gonna get
cool.
her the paper and we'll print it up. How's it
this
looking?
is cool.
Rid of that scale.
We want to get this fin here yellow. Hold
What about that one?
on.
You can imagine folks having some young people, some kids doing that this summer. That's a lot better than video games.
It's fun. All right, so this is that rice paper we were talking about.
Okay.
It's very thin. You can see through it. It's almost transparent. And when you mold this around the fish, it really it molds to the contours of the fish. You want to add a few stripes, real light.
Now or after?
So you're seeing the whole process right here on Panhandle Outdoors. This is fascinating.
There you go. Looks pretty good.
Okay, so we're getting to the point now. I think what we'll do, we'll go and take our commercial break now while we're finishing up the painting, and then we'll come back and do the right. Is that how you want to do it?
Sure.
And that'll be a good process?
Sure. And then
All right, let's
we'll
go and
do
take
that.
our last break. We'll be right back.
All right.
Hi, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this morning, seeing a special process here. This is Travis and Nicole, and FWC officers, a married couple, happily married, and they have a great little thing going here. Tell us again how to pronounce it, first of all, Travis.
It's called Gayutaku.
Gayutaku, okay?
Yep.
I hope we're saying it right.
I think we got it.
We got to practice on that one. Now listen, Nicole, tell us what all's been going on during the break here.
So we just continue to paint the fish a little bit more, and now what we're gonna do is clean off the eye, because you want, when you put the paper on top, you want the eye to be clean, so there's a hole for the eye so you can touch it up.
Okay, I was wondering about the eye a while ago while you were working, so we want to just get it really clean. We won't have to call in our sponsors, the Eye Center. They don't have to do this. Travis and Nicole can do this themselves.
She's got that eye clean. I think we're going to go ahead and do our print.
Okay, so we've got it all painted, and like you say, you have a little time, and you want to do it while it's wet.
Exactly.
You
We
can't,
grab the
so
pins.
within a couple of minutes, I guess, start drying out on you, wouldn't it?
Right, it will. Go ahead and grab those pins. And we'll,
So you take your pins out.
and then when you wet the fins, they'll pretty much stay right there.
Okay.
And we just had, I think, 3 pins in. There's one more right there.
Yeah, you painted over the pins. I couldn't see them.
They blend in. You want to get those because they'll kind of show up. And now we're just going to do the print.
Okay, so now you take your rice paper.
All that matters, we usually do the rough side down. You gonna do
Okay,
it? Grab that side.
the rough side down.
Right around there, you think?
Sure.
He's better at pressing than I am.
And then
I usually get it wrinkled.
you're just gonna rub the paint on this fish. And again, the fins will be the pronounced part, but you see we just kind of over the contours of the fish and working down to the tail. Go ahead and start wrapping that head around there if you can, babe.
It's bleeding a little.
Yeah, don't squeeze too hard.
That's
down.
cool. You're just taking your time, and like you say,
Yeah. Don't push too
I
hard
guess you
down.
really want to be very.
You got to be kind of gentle because
Yeah.
this paper's so thin it'll rip on you really if you're not careful. You got the head, they come out good. The jaw.
Where's the eye?
And the eye
I
will
see the
you'll
eye
come
there
back
now, yeah.
and touch that up.
He's still looking at us.
Yeah, he is. It's pretty good. All right, she's gonna pull that off.
All right, so you got it all covered. All right. Ta-da! Look at that. Turn around so we should go get it on the camera, Jeff, right there. Oh, camera. You let it down a little bit. This is fascinating. This is really fascinating here. This is.
Just
look at
turn it that
folks.
way. And yeah, if
Look
you see the detail on the scales, it really comes out
Wow.
pretty good. And I'm gonna slide him up just a little bit,
Okay.
and we can lay it back down. Or flip her over. Is that the right side up?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
And then we just touch up the eye, but you see the details of the fins and the scales, and you kind of blend those colors together, and it's not going to be perfect, but that's kind of what makes it
and
look
that's what makes it look nice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the different characteristics.
exactly. And you can come back, you can touch it up, and we usually we'll draw the eye in. But other than that, the print did pretty good. And any fish that have pronounced scales, whether it be a brim or shell cracker or snapper, they come out good. We've done some others, and
Yeah.
I know Nicole has a few others that she's done with Spanish. They look good. They require more touch up because they don't have the pronounced scales. They're real
Yeah.
small scales, kind of come off. But that's
We
how
can
you
touch
do
up
it.
the eye and the fins. And
Okay.
And then it'll give it a better even a better shape once you do that. So
So like I say, you can do this on a shirt also, right?
Yes. I saw a kid with it.
Yeah.
We've never done it, but I saw a kid
That'd
with
be
it.
your own personal shirt, especially a fish that a kid catches or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that we did it during the whole show, so that doesn't take that long to do it.
No, it doesn't take too long, and you can add. Lane does have some nice yellow stripes. You can add a little bit of that, but that's pretty much the print.
That's cool. And now what you do next, you wash it off and get the paint off, and then it's still ready to eat.
Yes.
Correct. Then you
gonna have this for dinner tonight?
Oh yeah.
Well, this is really cool stuff. So you can get all your supplies down at a place like Hobby Lobby, and just be patient with it. I guess you want to have patience.
The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah, like anything else. Yeah, that's good. Little styrofoam blocks and all. And like I say, you can your freshwater fish, like you say, the scales are going to be bigger, don't they? And
they are. Yeah. Like I said, the first one we did, I think, was a shell cracker, a nice one she caught out at Deer Point, and it came out real good. So, just mix your colors.
Let me ask you this: what do you do on a really big fish? You have a bigger piece of paper or something?
Yes, they sell a roll of rice paper. This
Okay.
is out of a notebook, but they actually sell a roll, so you just open it up and cut it to whatever length.
I mean, that's just, to me, that's fascinating, especially it's your own personal fish. I can't get, that's your own. A lot of times people buy shirts of all kind of fish and they don't know where the fish came from. But
Right.
this is yours.
Yep, and people have done it on as big fish like sailfish. She did a redfish, which was it was a slot, so it was pretty big, but it came out pretty
good. I had a
good.
bigger piece of paper.
Yeah, I can imagine redfish would be really, really pretty.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's
So.
good stuff. Well, listen, I want to thank y'all so much for showing this, and like I say, all your kin folks down in South Florida can be watching this, right? They'll be watching.
Well, they're in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, they're going to be way back there.
Go watch it.
And they're going to be watching. And Travis, I know all your folks up in Jackson County will be watching too.
Yes, sir, they will.
Well, thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. It's great to have a couple on the FWC, so especially for folks we know and all. So you did a good job on your first time. I didn't have to ask you to sing, so promise you you'll come back now.
I will.
Okay. Travis, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Enjoyed it as always.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay. And folks, I always want to thank you for watching Panhandle Outdoors. This is unique. Tell all you folks about it, and y'all try this. This is really cool. I'm going to try it. I'm going to get my kids to try it. Okay?
There you go.
Y'all have a great day. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.